housekeeping.
Transportation here?
Out in front, sir. A limousine and a pizza. Compliments of the Plaza Hotel.
Tim Curry is a British actor who's famous for the distinctive characters he played on stage, cinema, and television, as well as his voice acting performances. Curry has always sought to expand the boundaries of his acting skills, go beyond conventional limits, and portray a wide variety of characters, and undoubtedly, he's succeeded. You will learn about the life of this versatile actor by watching our new video.
Hold it right there.
This is the concierge, sir.
I knew it was you. I could smell you getting off the elevator.
Tim Curry. Where is the concierge from Home Alone 2 now? Timothy James Curry was born on April 19, 1946 in the suburb of Warrington, Cheshire, United Kingdom. Tim's father, James Curry, was a chaplain in the Royal Navy, and his mother, Patricia, was a school secretary. Tim also has an older sister, Judith, who has become a concert pianist. The Curry lineage included English, Irish, and Scottish roots. Tim spent most of his childhood in the port city of Plymouth, Devon, although the family often moved due to his father's job. When Tim was 12 years old, James Curry passed away from pneumonia, and the mother decided to move to South London with the children. There, Tim attended a boarding school and later went to Kingswood School in Bath, Somerset. As a child, Tim displayed excellent vocal talent, possessing a high soprano voice and often performing at church and school events. However, as time passed, young Tim decided to focus on studying acting. He initially attended Cambridge University and later transferred to the University of Birmingham, where he graduated with a degree in English language and drama in 1968. Immediately after completing his studies, despite his lack of experience, Curry landed a role in the London production of the controversial rock musical Hair, which became iconic for the hippie movement. The show was a massive success and ran for 1,997 performances. During the same period, the actor also appeared in other plays, including Shakespeare's tragedy Titus Andronicus and the plays The Elephant Calf, Life of Galileo, and Man Equals Man, based on Brecht's play. Interestingly, while working on the play Hair, Tim met Richard O'Brien, who became the author of Curry's next iconic role, Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Show, staged in 1973. O'Brien began working on the script just to pass the time, not expecting any significant outcome. Curry mentioned that initially he rehearsed with a German and American accent and lightened his hair with hydrogen peroxide. One day, he noticed how one Englishwoman spoke and realized that his character should sound like a queen. Thanks to the vivid image of the devilishly mad scientist and transvestite, Curry became rather famous in theatrical circles. During the same time, Tim took on minor roles in TV series and television movies, such as the children's fantasy movie Ace of Wands, theatrical anthologies Saturday Night Theater, Scene 2, Armchair Theater, and Play for Today, as well as the historical miniseries Napoleon and Love. In addition to his television and theatrical activities, the actor continued to play Frankenfurter until 1975, after which he transferred his character to the big screen. In August 1975, the comedy horror musical The Rocky Horror Picture Show was released. Initially, the film flopped at the box office, but soon the creators decided to introduce midnight screenings, leading to a rapid growth of the film's fan base. Moreover, people started attending the screenings in costumes of their favorite characters, replicating their manners and staging various performances.
You are fortunate, for tonight is the night that my beautiful creature is destined to be born!
Once, Curry was ejected from a New York screening. He saw the fans attending the midnight shows dressed as characters and decided to visit the theater, delighting the audience. However, despite the public's enthusiasm, one of the ushers kicked him out, labeling him an imposter. Curry showed him his passport but refused to return to the hall after the staff apologized. Gradually, the film gained cult status and grossed over $220 million at the box office with a budget of $1.4 million. In 1980, the film was inducted into the Saturn Awards Hall of Fame, and in 2015, it was added to the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. By the way, among the famous fans of the film was Princess Diana, who, upon meeting Curry, told him that Rocky Horror completed her education. Interestingly, the director, Jim Sharman, agreed to a lower budget and a tighter shooting schedule to retain the original cast, with the exceptions being Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick. Later, Sharman noted that this decision significantly contributed to the cult status of the musical. In 1975, Curry also played one of the main roles in the TV drama Three Men in a Boat, based on Jerome Klapka Jerome's story, and until 1976, he performed in the play Travesties by Tom Stoppard. In 1978, Tim portrayed William Shakespeare in the eponymous miniseries and participated in TV theatrical productions. He also starred in the horror film The Shout, which received the Grand Prix from the jury at the Cannes Film Festival.
To introduce you to Robert.
How do you do? How do you do?
He's your opposite number for this afternoon. Will you see that he's got over a pencil and whatnot?
Yes.
Good luck.
In addition, Curry released his debut musical album, Read My Lips, which featured an eclectic mix of cover versions of songs in different genres.
Don't be contrite, let's take flight. I might not feel.
In 1979, Tim presented his second and most successful album, Fearless. The new songs were mostly original and more similar to rock compared to the first release. The album also included the only song by Curry that entered the Billboard Hot 100 chart, I Do the Rock. In the same year, a music video for another song from the album, Paradise Garage, was released. From 1978 to 1980, Curry toured North America and some European countries with his band, simultaneously appearing in television plays. In 1981, his third and final musical album, Simplicity, was released, which included both original songs and cover versions. While not achieving the high sales of previous albums, it became the only one to enter Canadian charts.
Now be free on the day you say you need me.
During the same period, the actor appeared in American musical films Times Square and Annie, the British drama The Ploughman's Lunch, and also starred in the TV drama Oliver Twist. In 1985, the fantasy adventure film Legend by Ridley Scott was released, where our hero worked with Tom Cruise and portrayed darkness. The director was impressed by Curry's work in the Rocky Horror Picture Show and invited him to join the project. It took Tim about 5.5 hours to apply the required makeup for the role, and at the end of the shooting day, he had to spend a whole hour removing it in the bath. By the way, the film was nominated for numerous awards, including the Oscar, BAFTA, and Saturn Awards for Best Makeup and Costume Design.
My dream is of eternity with you. I offer you this rose, Princess.
Also in 1985, Curry played a role in the detective black comedy Clue, based on the board game of the same name. The actor once admitted that the role of the butler Wadsworth was his favorite.
Is this the right address to meet Mr. Body?
And you must be Mr. Green.
Yes.
Sit! No, not you, sir.
Interestingly, both films initially flopped at the box office and received lukewarm reviews from critics. However, over time, they gained cult classic status. Curry continued to work on television, and during that period, he could be seen in the comedy Blue Money, the children's fantasy movie The Worst Witch, and the series Arena and Wise Guy. Next, the American comedy Pass the Ammo was released, where Curry played a preacher who became a millionaire.
I can feel his hot breath at my neck. I can feel the ground shaking behind me.
Moreover, on the film set, the actor met Annie Potts, with whom he began a relationship that lasted about 2 years. The actors, however, never confirmed their romance. Tim never publicly discussed his personal life except in one interview where he admitted that he almost got married once. Many believed he was referring to Annie Potts. In 1989, the compilation album The Best of Tim Curry was released on cassette tapes and CDs, featuring his best songs, including live versions. During that time, our hero could be seen in the sketch show The Tracy Ullman Show and the series Wise Guy, and one could hear his voice in several animated series. Our hero did not stop working in the theater. In the 80s, he played leading roles in productions like Amadeus by Peter Shaffer, for which he was first nominated for a Tony Award, and The Three Penny Opera by Bertolt Brecht. He also played in The Pirates of Penzance, Love for Love, and Me and My Girl. In 1990, alongside Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, and Sam Neill, Tim starred in the spy thriller The Hunt for Red October, which was highly praised by both critics and the audience.
The reason for having 2 missile keys is so that no one man may what? May arm the missiles.
Curry also played the dancing clown Pennywise in the TV horror film It, based on Stephen King's novel. Initially, Tim was reluctant to take on this role, fearing the lengthy makeup process after working on Legend. However, he was assured that it would be much faster, so he agreed. By the way, initially, it was planned that Tim would play all incarnations of Pennywise, but soon the creators abandoned this idea due to difficulties with changing the makeup.
Don't you want a balloon? What's the matter? One balloon, not enough. Try it!
Interestingly, ABC allocated a record budget of $12 million for the production of the film. This amount was twice the usual budget for TV movies in 1990. Apart from Curry, Alice Cooper, Roddy McDowall, and Malcolm McDowell also aspired to play Pennywise, but director Tommy Lee Wallace saw Tim as the only suitable candidate. According to Curry, his character was so frightening that most actors on the set avoided him. Moreover, Tim had suffered from coulrophobia, the fear of clowns, for most of his life. So, his contract stipulated that there should be no mirrors in his line of sight on the set. Interestingly, despite the film seeming somewhat outdated, it remains a cult classic due to Tim's brilliant performance. When the filming of a new adaptation of It began in 2009, producers even offered him to reprise the role of Pennywise, but the actor declined, and Bill Skarsgård was cast instead. By the way, our hero appreciated the young actor's performance, calling him an excellent choice for the role. In the 90s, Curry played the role of the prosecutor in Roger Waters' concert production of The Wall in Berlin. In 1991, the actor had a small role in the comedy Oscar, working alongside stars such as Sylvester Stallone, Marissa Tomei, and Ornella Muti. He also participated in the stage production of Love Letters by Albert Gurney. In the same year, Curry won a Daytime Emmy Award for voicing Captain Hook in the animated series Peter Pan and the Pirates. Of course, it wasn't the only project featuring Tim's voice. For example, he voiced Tom and Jerry, Batman, Paddington Bear, and many others. In 1992, the black comedy Passed Away and Chris Columbus's Christmas family comedy Home Alone 2: Lost in New York with Macaulay Culkin were released. In the latter, Curry played the role of the concierge, Mr. Hector. The second film in the Home Alone franchise grossed $359 million at the box office with a budget of $28 million, becoming one of the highest-grossing films of the year.
I'm going out to look for him.
What? With all due respect, madam, your son is lost in one of the biggest cities in the world.
Could you stay out of this, please?
As you wish.
Thank you.
In the same year, Curry voiced Hexus in the animated film Ferngully: The Last Rainforest. In 1993, the actor appeared in the parody action comedy Loaded Weapon 1 and played Cardinal Richelieu in the adventure film The Three Musketeers, based on Alexander Dumas's novel. Tim also starred in episodes of the sitcom Roseanne and the horror anthology series Tales from the Crypt, for which he was also nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series.
Do you love me?
Of course I love you. I ain't gonna let my daddy hurt you if that's what you're worried about. I want to marry you.
During that time, the actor also played in the musical My Favorite Year, based on Joseph Doherty's book, and earned another Tony nomination. In 1994, Curry starred in several episodes of the science fiction TV series Earth 2 and played a small role in the superhero thriller The Shadow, working with Ian McKellen, whom Tim greatly respects.
War Department pay all the bills.
Because you talked me into it. I just wanted enough money to finish.
Dr. Lane, you don't think big. If you'd only listened to me, the world could be our oyster.
Afterward, the actor appeared in the sitcom The Naked Truth, the romantic comedy Lover's Knot, and the adventure film Congo, which performed well at the box office but was panned by critics. The film received 7 nominations for the Golden Raspberry Award, including one for Curry for Worst Supporting Actor.
We have a trumping card that they did not have.
We do.
We do. That gorilla knows where it is.
What? The gorilla.
He also worked on the computer game Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, where he portrayed Dr. Victor Frankenstein and voiced the evil penguin Drake in the animated film The Pebble and the Penguin. In 1996, Tim played the lead role in the family musical Muppet Treasure Island, which became one of his favorites. He also voiced his character in the video game adaptation. Moreover, he starred in the dramatic miniseries Titanic. The following year, the actor appeared in the science fiction TV series Lex and the sitcom Over the Top, where he also worked as the producer. There, he met Annie Potts, sparking rumors of their reunion. However, at that time, the actress was married, and the lack of news about Curry's relationships fueled speculation about his sexual orientation, although he did not comment on the topic. Tim also played in the action comedy McHale's Navy, which, however, was unsuccessful with both the audience and critics.
I hope you will not be so loose-lipped if someone should ask about me.
But I wouldn't say anything. Besides, I don't know anything about you, except that you're the second best terrorist in the world.
And the children's science fiction TV movie Doom Runners. Additionally, Curry voiced characters in animated musical films, lending his voice to Maestro Forte in Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. In 1998, Curry portrayed Gomez Addams in the black comedy Addams Family Reunion. Although the film was poorly received by critics, Tim's performance garnered high praise.
Aren't you excited about seeing your long-lost relatives?
I would rather douse myself with kerosene and light a match.
That's the spirit.
Afterward, the actor appeared in the sitcom Rude Awakening and the mockumentary musical comedy Jackie's Back. He also starred in the family adventure film Pirates of the Plane. Also, our hero voiced characters in animated films, the Rugrats movie, The Easter Story Keepers, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and Bartok the Magnificent. In the 90s, Tim continued to voice various animated series, including Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, The Pirates of Dark Water, Batman, The Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. In 2000, Curry played a cameo role in the sitcom Betty. Additionally, he starred in the crime thriller Four Dogs Playing Poker, the thriller Sorted, and the action comedy spy film Charlie's Angels, which received good reviews from critics and became one of the highest-grossing films of the year.
Blowfish?
Isn't that poisonous?
It's a rare delicacy for the man who has no fear of an excruciating death.
In 2001, the actor appeared in the historical miniseries Attila with Gerard Butler in the lead role, the horror film Wolf Girl, and the horror parody Scary Movie 2.
These cameras all throughout the house.
Yes, sir, I thought that would be best.
So, if one of our little chickadees were to be taking a shower, which button would I press to get a close-up?
That one.
This one.
In the same year, Tim reprised his role as Scrooge in the musical A Christmas Carol based on Charles Dickens' story. Then, Curry played the lead role in the comedy TV series Family Affair and had minor roles in the horror film Ritual and the romantic drama The Scoundrel's Wife. Moreover, during that period, one could hear Tim's voice in the animated films Rugrats in Paris and Rugrats Go Wild, as well as Barbie in the Nutcracker, The Wild Thornberrys movie, and Lion of Oz. In 2004, our hero appeared in the biographical drama film Kinsey with Liam Neeson playing the lead role. The film was highly praised by critics and received numerous prestigious award nominations, including the Oscar and the Golden Globe.
Not only is your class irrelevant, it's irresponsible. There's a VD epidemic sweeping this country, Thurman.
And that's my fault? I don't know whether to be insulted or flattered. Besides, there's a cure for syphilis, and it's called abstinence.
Curry also appeared in episodes of the detective series Monk and the sitcom Will and Grace. Soon after, Tim starred in the family comedy Bailey's Billions and worked on the adventure animated film Valiant, where he voiced the main antagonist, General Von Talon. Despite its short length of only 76 minutes, the voiceover took more than 2 years. During that period, the actor played King Arthur in the musical Spamalot, for which he received nominations for the Tony Award and the Laurence Olivier Award. Additionally, in 2005, there were rumors that Tim had a romance with his assistant, Marcia Hurwitz. In 2006, Curry played a small role in the comedy Christmas in Wonderland and appeared in the comedy detective TV series Psych. He also did voiceovers for the animated films Mucha Lucha, The Return of El Malefico, Queer Duck, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties, and The Chosen One. Then, the actor appeared in the detective series Agatha Christie's Poirot, specifically in the episode based on the book Appointment with Death. He also worked on the adventure fantasy film The Secret of Moonacre and The Color of Magic, the adaptation of Terry Pratchett's books. Additionally, he voiced the animated films Fly Me to the Moon and Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Also, Curry portrayed the Soviet premier Anatoly Cherdenko in the real-time strategy video game Command & Conquer Red Alert 3, released in 2008. In 2008, it was rumored that Curry was dating model Marina Druchko. In 2009, Tim appeared in the family miniseries Alice in the dramatic TV series Cranford. In 2010, he starred in the black comedy Burke and Hare and played a minor role in the crime drama TV series Criminal Minds. Also in 2010, the album From the Vaults was released, which had been recorded in 1976 but left unpublished for unknown reasons. During the same period, Curry's voice was featured in the animated films Barbie and the Three Musketeers, Curious George 2, Follow That Monkey, and Sammy's Adventures, The Secret Passage. He also did voiceovers for the animated series Phineas and Ferb, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Regular Show, and Young Justice. In the same year, Curry received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Actors Fund Tony Awards viewing party for his outstanding contribution to the acting industry. In 2011, Tim could be seen in the play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, based on Tom Stoppard's absurdist tragicomedy. In April 2012, he performed in the musical comedy What About Dick? However, shortly thereafter, Curry had to pause his work on new projects. In July 2012, he suffered a severe stroke at his home in Los Angeles, leaving him in a wheelchair since then. Fortunately, his speech quickly recovered, allowing him to continue working as a voice actor. According to Tim, the stroke has significantly changed his life, and his sense of humor helps him fight negative thoughts. After 2012, Curry contributed to the animated films Back to the Sea and Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja, as well as Saving Santa, Ribbit, and Over the Garden Wall. In 2016, the actor appeared in the remake of The Rocky Horror Picture Show, acting as the narrator. In October 2020, he reprised his role as Dr. Frankenfurter in a virtual reading of the play to support the Democratic Party in Wisconsin for fundraising in Joe Biden's presidential campaign. Despite his limited mobility, Curry continues to perform as a singer and participates in various events, meeting his fans. Apart from his work on television, cinema, and theater, Curry voiced various video games and was an audiobook narrator. For instance, in 2001, he was nominated for a Grammy for Best Spoken Word Album for Children for reading The Bad Beginning by Daniel Handler, also known as Lemony Snicket. Additionally, Curry participated in recording soundtracks for theatrical productions. It is known that the actor's net worth is around $12 million, and at various periods, he owned elite houses in Los Angeles. For instance, in the 90s, or according to other sources, in the 2000s, Curry lived in the prestigious Los Feliz neighborhood. The house, designed in 1922, was one of the first built in the area. The mansion covered around 4,000 square feet and featured 3 bedrooms and bathrooms, living rooms, and terraces, all in the style of Spanish colonial revival from the 1920s and 30s. To create a cozy atmosphere, the actor consulted with designers on textiles and color schemes, furnishing the house with numerous English antiques and adorning the walls with antique paintings. Interestingly, in 2011, the property was acquired by Robert Pattinson. It was reported that Tim paid $3.3 million for the property, while Pattinson acquired it for $6.3 million. In 2005, actress Christina Ricci bought Curry's small but cozy house for $1.6 million. It had 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and was also located in Los Feliz. In 2006, the actor bought a villa in the same area from David Hyde Pierce for $2 million. Tim owned it until April 2014 and sold it for $3.2 million. Currently, Curry resides in Los Angeles in the Toluca Lake area. He often participates in various shows and documentaries without leaving his home. Curry is also a fan of Mercedes-Benz. He has been spotted multiple times near cars of this elite brand. Throughout his career, the actor appeared in commercials for famous brands. For example, in 1993, he was featured in a Guinness Original Beer advertisement. In 1998, he appeared in a Japanese Xerox commercial, and in 2006, he voiced a commercial for Smirnoff Vodka. As for his musical preferences, the actor mentioned jazz vocalists like Billie Holiday and Louis Armstrong. In his teenage years, he was a fan of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Curry is also a fan of the Scooby-Doo franchise, and one of his favorite horror films is Don't Look Now from 1973. From childhood, Curry had a very close relationship with his older sister, Judith, who unfortunately passed away from brain cancer in 2001. Since the mid-70s, the actor had been close friends with Freddie Mercury, who was also a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Moreover, Curry has always been interested in gardening and once designed Mercury's garden. It is also known that Tim was in touch with singer Carly Simon and even worked as a backing vocalist on her 1979 album, Spy. Back in his childhood, Curry acquired the nickname Cheshire Cat. According to one version, he got it because of his birthplace, but his fans associate the nickname with the distinctive toothy grin of the actor. Which Tim Curry's role do you like the most?
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to get your lousy, lying, low-down, 4-flushing carcass out my door.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.